Hello, I'm Simon. Welcome back to my workshop. And in this video, I'm going to tackle the area behind my pillar drill. This is where I store all of my hole saws, Forstner bits and other drilling paraphernalia. And it's always a real mess. Let's get tinkering. So let's look at what we're dealing with here. I've got this really large hole saw which I used for my Dobsonian telescope mount build, which I'll probably never use again, but it's very sharp, so I want to keep it. I've got all of these cheap Chinese Forstner bits, which work at a push, they're not perfect, and this nice Bosch Forstner bit, which costs more than all of these put together, but there's a load of bits here. I've then got this variable sized hole saw bit with an additional little blade that it comes with to give a greater range of sizes that you can cut with it. This cheap hole saw, which I've had for years and actually works really well and often is the saw that I use. I've then got these nice hole saws and the drill and arbor that it comes with, then a couple of these hole saws, these centering bits which are really engineering bits which I don't use very often, and I have this doweling jig which I've had for many years. These points I use more than the actual jig itself, and interestingly it only came with the points for the large dowels, not for the smaller dowels. Quite why, I don't know, but I need to find a home for all of this. I'm running out of space on my wall, but I want to use this area here. It's just over a foot in this direction and it's under 2 feet in this direction. So these are the pieces of 8mm ply that I've got to work with. None of them are ideal, and you can see even piled up on top of each other, this is bigger or wider than the space that I've got available on the wall. So I'm going to have to get creative. So I've decided I'll make a separate wall mount for the doweling jig, and then that's one less thing to worry about. I decided I needed a little bit more space, so I moved my drill charger to the right of the other charger. So what I'm thinking is I'll have a piece of wood like this. I need to pull it away from the wall so that any shafts that I put through here from drill bits have enough room so they don't hit the wall. Here I think they'll hit the wall, so I just need to bring it out a little, and then I'll have another one below it like that, and I think that'll work. I've got 2 pieces of wood about this size. This is thinner here, none of the angles are square, so I need to tidy it up. Now I've got 2 pieces of wood the same width. I'll square up one end and then cut them to the same length. Now with the blade set to 45 degrees, I cut a bevel on the back of these 2 boards. I worked out a layout and then drilled the appropriate holes. I used some decorator's tape and glued the 2 boards together. I've laid out 3 rows of 12 holes. I'm first going to pilot them with a brad bit so I can get them really accurate, and then I'll finish them off with a twist bit, drilling from both sides to reduce chip out. It's looking quite bad at the moment, quite a lot of chip out, so I sand it down and then inspect the damage. I don't really need to do this, but I fill all the chip out using some wood filler and a little spatula. I've decided I need to have sides on these holders, and rather than measure it, I'm just going to offer it up and mark it out. First I chop off the material that's not needed, then I rip it to the correct width. Having set the angle with my angle gauge, I cut the wood using the sliding table. These will be painted later, so I sand off the varnish. I can now glue the sides on. There's a small amount of hand sanding before painting. The holders screw to the wall. All I now needed to do was to fit all of the bits. Some needed a little fettling. Well, this project's worked out pretty well, and I've still got plenty of space for expansion in the future. And now I no longer have all that junk behind my pillar drill, so the workshop just looks that little bit more organised. If you've enjoyed this video, then please leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, then please subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks for watching.